Mayor-elect Eric Adams dismissing threats made by activists with the Black Lives Matter Greater New York movement after they vowed riots and bloodshed over his plan to reestablish the undercover anti-crime units. Adams says he has a clear vision for the future of the NYPD, and he invited the activists to be a part of the solution.
What I said to them, it's time for you to be held accountable on what's happening in your city. Don't look towards Eric. I was elected to be the mayor, not the Messiah.
Local activists referred to Adams as a, quote, bargain basement Giuliani, end quote, for being so cozy with the cops not doing enough to hold the NYPD accountable for their actions. Of course, Adams says otherwise, as you just heard him say. So we're joined this morning by Chivona Newsome, co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York. Chivona, good morning to you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Dan and Hazel. Thank you for having me.
So, Chivona, you were in that closed-door meeting with the mayor-elect, right? Your brother Hawk, we understand. Things got a little tense at times. Was this a planned meeting? How did this all come about? Take us inside.
We know the election just happened. We wanted to be one of the first to get our issues out there because as we see so many times in the Democratic Party, they do a lot of canvassing, campaigning in our community. But when it comes time for real solutions, they disappear. And this is what we're seeing right now with Eric Adams going back on his campaign promises. This was not a planned meeting. We protested, we demonstrated, we exercised our American constitutional rights, and his office called down and asked for us to come upstairs and have a meeting.
Let me just ask you this. Let me just ask you this,
because
you say he's going back on a campaign promise, but Eric Adams has been very, very forthright during the campaign saying he was going to bring back this plainclothes gun unit to the NYPD. He said that all along his campaign.
Eric Adams actually requested my endorsement. I'm also the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York. We were the first to endorse Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. He promised us that he would be the best for Black people in this city. I'm not surprised. I spoke out through the duration of the campaign with his love affair, his love letters to the NYPD. Just that clip you showed, I have to speak on it. We should hold a mayor accountable. We should hold politicians accountable. And in that 30-minute meeting that we had, Black Lives Matter laid out a plan. We have a school located in the Bronx. We want to bring gang members to communities, former gang members, the formerly incarcerated, the felons, to mediate community problems. The reason why there's crimes and gun violence, because there's no jobs, there's no education. People are committing crimes of opportunity. But Eric Adams does not have a plan, so he's going to rename old Giuliani plans and force feed them to New Yorkers. And the only people who are really going to be harmed by this are Black and brown people who live in our outer boroughs.
Now, he claims that in those meetings that you all didn't even speak about the anti-crime unit, the plainclothes anti-crime unit. Did you? Were specifics detailed in that meeting?
We spoke about police accountability. We made future plans before the meeting left. I'm just unsure why the mayor-elect was so rattled by being held accountable. I didn't understand why towards the end he became hostile. He felt the need to correct me as the only woman in the room. We spoke about police accountability in general. We actually spoke about a bipartisan bill that all New Yorkers could get behind, which is the Blue Wall Law, which says that any officer who falsifies a police document, he should be arrested. But let's be real, the media has sensationalized this. We did have a meeting. It did become a little hostile towards the end. We were looking forward to meeting with him and working again. But for Eric Adams to go on TV and say fringe, we're a fringe group, to dismiss us, it's not a threat that we made. It's foreshadowing. As we've seen, if he brings back the just let me finish. If he brings back the anti-crime unit, they're responsible for the 3 most notorious deaths: Sean Bell, Eric Garner, and Amadou Diallo. He would bring about bloodshed. That was foreshadowing. Bloodshed on the hands of the NYPD will bring about riots and violence. Okay. It's the American way.
We're not trying to sensationalize. We're really just trying to get to the bottom of exactly what is it.
And I'm happy to help.
Yeah, no, and especially when words are used like riots, and that there will be fires, and that there will be bloodshed on the streets, and what exactly did that mean? When you say you're foreshadowing and words like that are used, that's what we're trying to get to the bottom of here.
We're trying to get to the bottom of a great leader who came before me. Martin Luther King said that riots are the cries of the unheard.
Yes.
The anti-crime unit has proven to bring about bloodshed. that will bring about riots. That will bring about property damage, as we've seen before. Because I feel like we say violence, but if you look at Letitia James, current governor, running for governor, state attorney general, the only violence during those times were at the hands of the NYPD. So it's foreshadowing what would happen if he brings back these archaic ways, if he goes back to that Giuliani era, if he goes back to allowing law enforcement to brutalize Black people. Your audience needs to understand what the anti-crime unit does. It patrols and hunts Black neighborhoods. They wear plain clothing. They hop out of unmarked cars. They're violating the Fourth Amendment. That's why it was done away with. He wants to bring back stop, question, and frisk. He rephrases a lot. But he's bringing back unconstitutional policies.
Just to be very clear, he has said he wants to bring back a plainclothes anti-gun unit to get guns off the street, saying it differs from the plainclothes anti-crime unit.
Is it semantics?
It's absolutely, Hazel. Thank you so much for that. It is semantics. Because when I was a child, our car was pulled over. My brother was barely a teenager. One of our uncles was driving, and we were thrown up against a car. Can you imagine a little girl in the Bronx in front of, what is that? The projects on University. The home of hip hop, the birthplace of hip hop, those projects right there, that's where I was stopped and frisked as a child, pulled out a car. What gun was I carrying? I'm a former financial advisor. I went to Fordham University, but the color of my skin makes me a target. Eric Adams can't guarantee that we won't see these policies on the Upper East Side, on the Upper West Side. No, but they'll patrol my neighborhoods in the South Bronx. They'll degrade my people. And if he does that, yes, there will be an uprising. How can you stand back and allow your human rights to be violated?
Well, Chivona, we've run out of time. We thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Giving us your side of the story. Thank you.
Have a great one.
All right. Thank you. We also, by the way, reached out to Eric Adams to have him on to talk about this as well. Hopefully he will come on very soon.